This place is so much bigger than you ever imagined. You see some of the slaves literally kicking their masters out, putting guns to their head, and just executing them right on the floor. You walk with the people into the open square where this blasphemy of a statue stands in front of you.
Come on! Come forth, the people are here. If you would rule them, come and show them who their ruler is.
Chato, I see you've come back. He takes a item from his belt and flicks it right towards you. Make a dodge check.
I do not dodge at all. 3 degrees of failure.
God damn.
You feel this dart.
Oh, fuck. My intent is to keep fighting.
Roll your attack.
14 total. 19 total. 24 total.
Explain to me his grisly demise. Jefferson City has been completely redeemed. Is it Jefferson City or is it still Osage?
I christened this place Jennysburg.
It took 10 years to push them back, but we did. What was once a prosperous river trade in Mississippi is now the front line. The eastern states supply the river states, and what's left of the UA live out their meager days self-policing. What is the West hiding? Nobody really knows for sure. But we're alive. And this is the new frontier.
Glass shatters as you watch shrapnel fly over the top of your head as all three of you are hunkered down over a piece of concrete that is laid out between you and a giant 5 to 6 story building laid out in front of you. In fact, the way it's decorated, it almost reminds you of ancient ziggurats from old civilizations, as what was once the IRS building is laid out in front of you at the moment. You are about 2 or 3 blocks away from the government building in which we last left you, and you can hear a shouting is coming from the main door, which has been converted into a large opening gate, essentially like a drawbridge that has been brought down with sheet metal, and someone yells at you from the sides like, "You can't come in here!"
Do we need to?
You know, Wraith, that you need to meet the governor of the Osage Villa, which is currently where you're outside of at the moment. It's been about 48 hours since the showdown at Lewis and Clark, and you're currently trying to meet the governor of the most populated building in all of Osage.
Have we seen Chato in those 48 hours?
Chato has been unconscious
Okay.
for the last 48 hours.
And do we know where he is?
Yeah.
He's currently in Kaymon's palace.
We need to find Chato and make sure he's okay, or this coup won't last.
But the problem is the people want to see Chato, all right? And these people have been asking. It's basically been chaos and anarchy for the longest time. And now Osage Village is demanding to see who's in charge.
We need to do what we need to do to get back to...
Where's Kaymon? Look, we don't know what's happening out here, but we've been seeing people outside of Kaymon's mansion for the last 2 or 3 days. They say Kaymon's dead.
Kaymon is dead.
You hear it's like a little bit of chatter comes across as around it. You hear people talk. All right, then who's in charge? Who's ruling the palace?
Chato.
Where's Chato?
Chato's fine.
He's recovering.
Recovering?
He fought a battle against Kaymon. He destroyed him in combat. He is the rightful ruler of this place.
And you haven't seen this person who's been yelling because they've been basically behind a piece of sheet metal barricaded out at the moment. But you can definitely hear the silences. Apparently they must be conferring or talking, as you don't hear anything for long periods of time.
And why are we trying to hear the governor? What do we need from him? We're just...
Well, he asked for us. And I mean, if there was some way that we could allay his fears, but I don't want to tell them that Chato is indisposed.
Well, I got a few pieces left of Kaymon's armor in this bag. You want to show him that?
We should make a demonstration.
I'm definitely down to demonstrate that.
So tell me what you're doing.
So Kent's gonna stand up a little bit, maybe walk towards the drawbridge, pull out a small satchel, just kind of throw it on the ground, and it just kind of spills out and opens, and you can see a couple trinkets that came on, had maybe a necklace or a bracelet that he had.
Some of the bones
Some
that
of the
he
bone
had.
armor that he had on his shoulder
Yeah.
is there, and it kind of crinkles and crinkles as it spills out. And I'm gonna say, there's plenty of things to check out right here if the story backs up.
You watch as like a man who peered his head over to the side. You can see he's actually got it's like a sliding gate that has two pieces of sheet metal thrown over it. Basically, you hear the metal move as he pulls it off to the side, kind of parting, and you can see blackness on the other side of it.
I'm gonna step back too to make sure nothing crazy comes out.
As a man kind of peeks his head out and looks down, he looks behind him. He seems to be talking to someone behind him, and then he looks forward and he sees the trinkets on the ground, and he moves the gate as much as he can in order to step out, and he watches 3 or 4 people all armed with simple but very deadly looking weapons as they kind of step out, and you watch as this small cadre moves forward to investigate the trinkets. And you hear, goes, "We have guns, just so you know, we have other people behind us who are watching." And he kind of looks and sees well, I mean, you're only the one visible right now, right, Kent?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yeah, but I mean, I think we were gonna step up and support,
You're gonna step up too?
and support him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you both step up and support him, you can
We
see.
have our own people in the nearby buildings as well, but there's no need for any of that. We're going to leave this in peace.
All right. You can see that the people with simple weapons behind them look extremely nervous at just how large, like the MP5 and the 30-06, they are clearly shaken seeing just the amount of firepower that you guys are visibly displaying right now in front of them. And you watch as this man who has slicked back hair, it seems to be, actually it's kind of shoulder length, wide eyes, but a very focused brow, as he kind of bends down and looks at sight of the pieces. And, son of a bitch is dead, isn't he? Whew. He walks over straight to where Kent is, kind of looks him up and down.
I think he wants to give you a high five. I mean, go.
Come on, man.
Yeah! Fucker's dead!
Wow. Okay, so that was really stupid of me. I'm just gonna be upfront, but okay, not everyone here is loyal to Kamon or his interests. Some are, though. Okay, that was really fucking stupid of me. Okay, that's fine though. You turn around and he looks at all the guys behind him and goes, "Don't tell anyone." Okay, just don't say it. And they're all kind of shaking their heads no. Open the gates. No one's taking any lives today.
So when I look at this guy's men,
Yeah.
and his own, like, is he relatively well dressed? Does he look like he was doing okay in the old regime?
Yeah, so everyone basically looks like simple citizens by the purposes and kind of guidelines of pre-day zero. Like, they've all pretty much got simple wear, and you can see that a lot of his clothing and outfits seems to have been patched and sewn together from either various pieces, but it's all clean and relatively well put together.
But it's not ostentatious anyway.
It's not flashy, it's not showy.
Okay.
He's essentially has, simple farmer's clothes that have been patched and repaired. It doesn't look like it's made from like fresh texture or anything. It actually looks like it's been cut up and made of various other pieces of clothes that have been stripped and sewn and repaired over the years.
Do his men look like Kamon's cultists? Do they wear
No.
open signs of their faith,
They're
their previous
all-
faith, or any of that kind of stuff?
They all seem to actually be really nervous to be meeting you right now, and they all have similar wear in which they all seem like private citizens who have taken up simple weapons and have their garb. Some of them will have protective patches, but it looks like they've all been hastily put on. You're looking at a militia.
Okay.
That's what you're looking at.
Undecided militia.
An undecided, a reluctant militia, you could even say.
Look, We cannot show any weakness.
Right.
If we see a patch that has K-Mon's logo on it, we gotta let them know that shit don't fly anymore.
These people are looking to follow who has the most power. So you're right, we can't
Or the
show.
most bullets.
So where's the place where we're keeping Chateau right now?
It's on the map if you see K-Mon's Palace.
It's called K-Mon's Palace?
Called
or
K-Mon's
whatever?
Palace. It's the government
Okay.
building.
Okay.
That's basically what this is.
All right.
So you took over the governor's villa on the second floor of this giant government building, and essentially you're in the main office. That's where the headquarters is, so to speak. And if you look right across the street almost, like kitty corner, is Osage Villa, which is where a large majority of Osagians, or the Osage, are currently living. You know, in fact, you have only seen this side of it, but you know, just looking around it, you can see a lot of makeshift lean-tos and like open market kind of stands have been laid out around it. And you know, there is piles of collected trash that have been put into small mounds, and tarps have been thrown over them. And you're in a little bit of a well-placed shanty town that has been evacuated into the main building. And unfortunately, because of the crazy amount of riots and streets that have been run around, there is still general disarray around it, but the streets are empty as far as this moment goes.
Our forces hold the government building. You should send some of your men to help reinforce us. And we also should let you know, any who wear the symbol of K-Mon will be attacked and killed by our army.
All right. Well,
Anyone.
he goes up to one of his militiamen and goes, and he whispers a few words inside of them, and he goes up to you, goes, look, there are some men loyal to K-Mon inside who are waiting around for this report on what's going on here right now. So you need to either make it look like this is a tough time, or we need to go inside very quickly so that we can do something about it. So just keep quiet. I don't care what you do right now, but we have to go report back. There's a few men in there who are waiting to hear from K-Mon right now. All right, well, if you're going to be showing across all this force like this, you know, we need to take you inside and make sure that that you talk to the governor. If K-Mon really is dead, we want to see proof.
Then you must come to the palace to find it.
All right, he kind of looks and goes, I'd love to go with you, but I can't. My family's here. If I leave them, then something bad could happen.
How many men in there are still loyal to K-Mon?
I don't know, less than a dozen, maybe 6.
We need to get them out of there. Maybe lure them, make them think it's a meeting, that we're surrendering to them. And then
There's no reason to put ourselves in a compromised position.
Why are you so quiet? Speak up!
we got to get inside and figure this out.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. There's no reason. We have nothing to gain.
No, he's right. You're right. If they want to hear about K-Mon, then they need to
What
come.
do you want to
us.
do? Want to try to bring him outside?
Yes.
Okay, all right, all right. All right, we'll bring out a new delegate to show your proof. And you watch as he kind of turns around and saunters back with his simple militia. They start to wander inside, and they shut the door half-heartedly kind of behind them. Some time passes. Osage, and this is something that you've learned by just hearing from some of the people who have taken over, Osage is essentially a faction-based town in which K-Mon, it seems like, was, for all intents and purposes, the emperor or like the king. And then there are several outlying towns and fellowships that are all governors, or governorships. So Osage Villa is essentially one governance of several that are all laid out through Osage. In fact, you've learned pretty quickly that this community is largely made up of people who have built successful industries in the town and have basically been paying either tithes or support to K-Mon over the years. In fact, one of the first things that you saw when you came into the governor's palace, the 8 laws of Osage. So, which are, by his divine will, K-Mon protects you. All tithes are voluntary. Thievery of goods will be punished. Do your job so that others can do theirs. Taking your life is stealing from the community. Trade is necessary, and all deals must be made fairly. No man may give himself freely to the Chenoo. If you are chosen, you should be grateful. So these are the 8 laws in which all of the governors and the governorships of Osage essentially live by.
Look, we got to get this guy out here. Maybe we can lure him with food. We had some food picked up when we stopped over there. These
He's
people
not
gotta
an
be
animal.
hungry.
can't.
I'm just trying to think of a way to get him out.
He seemed to care about his family. If there's some way we can get his family out of there, then he would come willingly. But I feel like that's more work than we want to spend. We should find out if he knows of any local doctors.
I will also say that you guys are currently living, because of your issue with the rail driver, you're currently sitting at about personally 40 survival points between you all. And in our new season, I'm going to be starting you off with 20 risk, since you essentially overthrew a warlord. You can actually start to hear the sounds of gunshots emerging from inside of the villa.
They're rioting in there.
Looks like it didn't work out. I hate to say it, but I think we should return.
Yeah. No, I think we should return
There
too.
are people in there who will fight for us too.
Yeah, but there are also enemies who will kill us.
And we don't know who's winning in there right now. And there's only 3 of us. If there were more people with us, then yeah, maybe I'd seriously consider about going in there, but...
And at this point, you actually start to hear, as shouting is apparently becoming closer as you guys are making this conversation, and you actually see as like the doors are basically being pulled open, yanked open, some people are starting to escape out from the midst of the Osage Villa at the
We need to
moment from
go.
the front door.
We need to go before they can follow us.
There's now yelling and there's screaming, and you can see as people are, some people are carrying themselves, carrying their families, and some people are wounded as they're walking away.
We can use this crowd for cover. I can blend us in.
Okay, so these people, they look like, okay, they're like families. Okay.
All right, so are you guys tailing back to Kaymon's palace?
Yeah.
Yes.
Currently under new management.
Yes.
I'm gonna, as they walk off talking, Ken's gonna kind of slowly be the third person, and I'm gonna look behind, and I'm gonna see a mother and a child running out the door, screaming.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see the child fall and the mom try and grab him, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch one of these old Kaymon supporters come and just gut this woman, and I'm just gonna turn around and run around the corner with these guys.
All right, yeah, because Kaymon's people are coming out, and you can hear the screaming, you can hear the yelling. The gunshots have stopped, but now these people are definitely spilling out.
Wait dude.
This is on you.
So you walk back to the governor's villa, which is now still Kaymon's palace, as you can see as people are spilling out.
I mean, there was only about 6 of these Kaymon followers, and then there's these families, and then if we didn't help them, how are we... Yes, I realize that our plan isn't to stay here, but how are we going to get our rail driver and get Ray and Band-Aid if we can't just create some stability, just long enough for us to get back on our feet? And I'm just worried I made a huge mistake leaving these people to die.
Yeah, you may be right.
The choice was made. They're dead, but we are still alive. So let's get back to Chato, and let's see what the fuck we can do.
Though the optics are very important. If we're going to buy any space, there needs to be some sort of leadership.
So as you guys make it back to the governor's palace, you go and check in with the people in the front, and you can see at least one of the people who you put in charge is running, goes, "We heard gunshots over the villa. What's going on?"
You need to reinforce this area.
The palace or the villa or what?
Bring all the women and children inside the palace immediately.
From the villa? There's like 5,000 people in the villa.
Do what you can do.
All right, you watch as he starts running around trying to collect people who are inside, who you've kind of staged in the palace.
Do you have anybody with ranged weapons?
So one of the challenges and one of the reasons that you saw people reacting so heavily to the weaponry that you are carrying is that if there is a deficit of a certain resource in Osage, it is firearms.
Okay.
You might have a few that you've managed to pick off of Kaymon's followers, but they will essentially be relegated to mostly handguns.
Put them on the high ground. So
I think, yes, we should still have, anyone who does have guns should be on the second level. Elevated behind cover. If anybody walks up and tries to visibly, assault.
Yeah.
But because these are Kaymon's people, they may know secret entrances. We need to look to the security of this place and establish a perimeter.
And, I mean, we had the advantage of surprise. I don't think anyone saw that coming, and I just don't want to give them time to reassemble.
Right. The building itself has one major entrance, and everything else has been blocked off years ago in order to just have the general security of the place be secured enough for if any Chinook or anything or infected in the real world terms would have been able to come into the space. There is definitely on the northern side of the building that faces the river, there is definitely a large open back which has been converted into like an open trade, like an open community garden center where this plot has all been like repurposed in order for small bits of agriculture.
So vulnerable.
You know, but yeah, the back is for all intents and purposes the most vulnerable of the spaces. But it does, because it is a government building, a lot of the windows have been moved out, like shooting platforms have been built. Yeah. And barbed wire essentially lines everywhere, at least 8 feet circle around from the part for any potential infected who might be trying to climb.
All right. I'm going to start patrolling the perimeter of the building and see if I can identify any weaknesses, or so that we're the first to know if Kaymon's reinforcements try to take this place back.
Well, and I want to make sure Chateau is like tied down. I don't want him just locked in a room. He is a big, strong guy.
Big, strong dude.
And if he turns into an infected, then it's going to that's
Right.
going to be something
So
I don't want to deal with. So
that's fair. So you'll find some simple bindings, some leather.
strong.
Some simple, strong bindings,
you.
as much as you can.
Simple, strong.
Even if it's just taking some of your paracord that you happen to have on you, and then just tying some really secure knots around his extremities. The paracord gives you a +5 for tools, so you could take your training value with your tools and add a 5 onto it.
Okay.
If you could, I'd like you to roll a survival check. You can add 5, just because the paracord has a +5 as far as a tool goes onto it. So you can add that on top of your training value and your survival check.
Okay. 3 degrees of success.
Oh my. All right. You tied it down so well, and you've managed to not have to use a lot of paracord to do it. So we'll give you a little extra. I'll buy some survival points for you off of that.
Yes, please.
To the point of where you actually managed to keep the paracord and find a little more. So.
Okay. And can I use any of this to spend on just what I see with Chateau? Like anything?
Yeah, if you'd like to spend, instead of survival points, if you'd like to spend that
Is that
to kind
cool
of.
with you guys? You want survival points, or do you want me to try and gather some information?
She's talking about spending another one of her successes, I think.
Because she needed 1 to tie the knots really
One,
well,
yeah.
but she's got 2 left over.
Yeah. Do you want them on survival points, or should I don't know. I just I want to know.
Yeah.
Go find out.
I don't know. Yeah. I'd like to spend the other 2 and just kind of, I don't know.
You don't have to spend 2, you can spend 1.
Spend
Yeah, we can split
Thank
the
you.
difference. One on survival points and one on
A little extra information.
your
I
own
like
assessment
that.
of
One on
what the Chateau
Jenny's diagnosis.
So Jenny's diagnosis of Chateau is that he looks like he is in a fever state. He has just like sweat running down his face, and he just seems to be like his eyes are squinted shut, and his breathing is heavy as it's just labored over and over again. And occasionally he'll kind of jolt his shoulders back and forth as he'll have these small little muscle spasms.
I want to go in and just push his eyelids open, one of his eyelids open, just to see what do I
They're
see.
fully dilated.
But they're not like milky.
You don't see any sign of milky cloudiness onto it at all or anything like that, no.
Where's Paolo at?
Paolo, you've delegated to protecting Chateau.
I just want to go talk to him for just a minute.
Yes, Miss Jenny.
I don't know if Chateau is going to wake up as the same person.
You think could be Chinook?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Well, if he is, then we must release him out. That would be what he would want. Are you saying do you think strapping him down is the wisest choice? Then maybe we should take him outside and put him in a cage.
I don't want to take him outside. I don't want people to see him
Oh, no,
like
you're
that.
right, if they see him. Oh, no. Yes. No, I understand.
Paul, the people, they seem to follow you. The
slaves do. And they understand.
If anything, if the worst case scenario happens with Chateau, I want you to be the one that they follow.
It's a meager responsibility.
I know. But it can't be me.
What are we doing with all the folk in River Run?
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not from around here.
Yeah.
River Run was once was a prospering community, but has been relegated to the slave pits now. The area in which you liberated us and everyone, that is called River Run.
And wait, where are they? Where are they is what you're asking right now?
All the people we've managed to uplift them, but there are many loyal in River Run who we could use in order to help instigate the new regime. Because Jenny, I must warn you, the Kaymon's loyalists. The reason that we are able to get here as far as we are is because we went straight through Summerfield. Summerfield is all of Kaymon's loyalists, his military branch, Kaymon's hand. The people of River Run have been oppressed by Summerfield, acting as a buffer zone between here and Old Jefferson, which is now where we are. Old Jefferson makes up of Osage village and all of the priests of Kaymon and everyone who is essentially in his inner circle. Now, you have killed at least Kaymon, and we have managed to at least contain, if not kill, all of his followers, or his loyal main retinue. But Killarm is the head of Kaymon's hand, and he will be trying to do something soon, if he is not already currently. He will not show an open sign of force since he does not know exactly what has happened yet, but I would not be surprised if a delegate would come soon.
So we should take him out.
Killarm is the worst. He is essentially all of Kaymon's will, and yes, it's he is the one I'm most worried about outside of Kaymon.
If we could take him out, do you think finally the people would fall in line and people would put down?
Osage is much more complicated than that, Miss Jenny. Osage is built upon trade and infrastructure, and all of the governors and regencies have a mix of both loyalists and people who are not loyal for all intents and purposes to Kaymon. Some more than others. River Run is oppressed. No one in River Run wants to see Kaymon in power. Summerfield has most. The Heisenberg Bluffs, where all of the fresh water comes from. Well, they like that they have been given so much power by Kaymon, but not all are loyal to them. It is not as simple as just turning the entire regime over in a change. Everyone will want something.
Tell them that the rail driver will provide a steady line of trade. That's something that the people at the Bluffs might be relying on and wouldn't have to rely on Kaymon's goons anymore.
I mean, he's making a good point in that, like, we need to control something to have leverage.
Right now, you control the governor's building, which is important. It is not bad. In fact, I would say that it is the most vital. But Kaymon's palace is a symbol of power. And Killarm will want that symbol of power.
I'm saying we may need resources other than those of symbolic value.
I don't know what to do. Miss Jenny, I'm so sorry. I will fight for you. I will fight for Chateau. And I will make sure that nobody takes this palace. But I cannot tell you what to do next.
We got to get more people.
We need more allies.
From what he was saying, it seems like the Bluffs are undecided. They're not necessarily loyalists, and they're not necessarily on our side either.
They'll go to whoever rewards them the best.
If we can set up something with these people in exchange for, once we get the rail driver operating, to let them get water to the city that is under our control and cut it off from anywhere else.
We also have no desire to rule this place permanently.
No, but we do want to leave it intact.
Why not tell them that they could rule it?
I'm not opposed to that.
You hear a squeaking of sneakers kind of, or rugged leather kind of hitting the marble floor as someone seems to be running at full tilt down the hallway at the moment.
Who is it?
And you watch as one of your people bends around the corner and goes, Miss Jenny! Miss Jenny! Spooky guy and beardy dude. Sir, there's some people outside. They seem to be running around, looting around the governor's building. They're trying to break down the door.
We need to put a stop to this. We're gonna go take care of it.
Okay, so you're gonna go out through the front, and as you get closer, you can kind of hear as a couple people are having a shouting match as one man is essentially is holding a bar down and trying to put the main gate down, and you can see as it boom, boom, occasionally pulls out as there seems to be men who are shouldering it against the side of the front door as much as they can. You can basically just hear everybody shouting as they kind of burst through the front. So as you come in through the front, you see as several men kind of stumble inside, and the two men who are holding the front door kind of fall down. And
when you start dropping people.
Yeah, immediately.
and you see, are you just gonna shoot into it?
Do I have my bow? Is my bow restrung? Actually, I'll save my arrows for something stealthy in the future.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, we have guns.
Yeah,
so
let's
Okay,
start.
so good.
A warning
so
shot.
That's too
I
intense.
just want to put it right in there.
And then what about you, Kent?
I don't have a gun on me. All I have is a hatchet.
Right.
So I'm going to stay at the front of the building, still inside, protected.
You could shout and make a big.
And I'm going to start talking shit. And I'm
Okay.
Gonna start shouting, get back now. If you come any further, we'll put 3 bullets in your fucking brain. Get back now.
All right, so make an intimidation check. 1 speed, since you're just shouting stuff around.
Same here. If they keep moving, I'm pulling the machine pistol.
Well,
up
then you wouldn't be rolling damage then if neither of you are shooting then I would just say make composure rolls so that you can
Composure
kind of decide how you want to do your speed instead.
I
if
mean,
that's
hold
your
on.
intent.
They're trying to break into this palace.
Right, man. Yeah, no
They're not
mercy.
gonna-
You
they're
know
not
what?
gonna back
Screw it.
off.
We're gonna take them out.
We're gonna give them the vocal warning, but finger on the trigger, expecting to shoot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
combined
giving
with
them
the
this
warning.
warning less for the people. I'm giving this more for our people to
get
see
out.
that there's civility here, that there is a hierarchy.
Yeah.
That we may not have been leaders or wanted to ask for this
Right.
position, but we're being put into this position now.
Okay, well, I'm going to roll their speed, and they will go when they go. Likewise, all of you will narratively play this out. So roll your dice if your intent is to pull the trigger. Let's see what damage is going to look like.
Oh, God.
That's not great.
It's not great at all.
I had 2 degrees of success.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And how are you two looking?
I have 5 degrees of failure.
I have 6 degrees of failure.
Well,
So
you can
5
only-
and 5.
You only
What's
have
your
5,
what's your
yeah.
speed looking like?
I'm a 7.
All right, Kent,
4.
and then
10.
10. All right, and the people are going to go right after Kent. So I'm willing to buy 2 of your degrees of failure to accumulate more risk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll buy 2 risk. How would you like to resolve your other 3?
So I'm standing and I'm shouting at them and I yell, get out of here, get out. And nothing works. They plow through the front doors. There's 2 or 3 men who were overpowered them. I run up to the door with these people to my sides, guns drawn.
Yeah.
And I try and help up the 2 people who have fallen. But in the chaos and scrimmage, as I go to reach him, he ends up pulling me down on the ground too.
Okay, yeah, so now not only are you in the fight, which that's 1 degree of failure, so you're within the line of fire, as they would say. You're kind of bent over helping another person. I'll take that one as well too. And then I'll tell you what, put that one away. One of them has a shield now.
Okay.
One of them has essentially a reinforced metal. It also has sheet metal on it as well too. So and that's what he's been using to like
Bash people.
bash the door and like basically shield
So
bash
we're kind of
people up.
scrambling, like kicking dirt up, getting up in between our knees and to our feet, me and the other people in this mud pit in front of the
Right.
door.
Then, yeah, the people will go. So they're gonna try to take Kent down on the ground. Okay, so I'll spend them on damage with his simple bat. Okay, so one of them, basically the guy with the shield, he kind of bears the door down as both the men fall down. You've been yelling as you kind of come up, and you kind of watch as he turns the corner around and sees you, and he lifts up what seems to be like a rebar sword, is what he's holding on to at the moment. And as he comes down, you watch as he kind of turns around and he just jabs it right into the guy that's right next to you. So, and he pulls it out, and you hear as this man who has been holding the door just screams as he is silent. It pierces into his heart, and he just falls over dead, blood laying on the side of him. And as he takes the side of his shield, he'll bash you down and hit you for 3 points of superficial damage. The other one is going to run and try to close the distance between both of you who have stayed back at this moment. And he is just going to run forward. He can see that he essentially is holding no shield, and he just has a simple baseball bat that looks like it has another piece of rebar that's been tied next to it, like essentially a reinforced baseball bat, another simple weapon. And he is just hands up, just wildly screaming as he is just running straight towards you, Wraith. So,
Okay.
And the other ones are currently spilling into the door at the moment, and that'll take it down to you.
All right, so I had 5 degrees of failure.
Yes.
Which I guess I have to narrate away now.
Well, yeah, and same as his. I'll buy 2 off of you if you'd like.
For risk?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take that. I will. But with the remaining 3, I guess we'll say, I mean, I ended up just kind of spraying in the general direction.
Right.
And I'm both so unlucky that I miss the guy who's running straight at me completely.
Yeah.
Is that 1 failure?
Yeah, because you have to spend the depletion anyway, so you miss them.
Yeah.
Big time.
And then I guess with the next one, maybe those bullets hit somebody else.
Yeah, I can roll
behind him?
damage against one of your followers.
One of the followers.
Yeah. So
Say it.
we can take your 5, and then how many do you want to spend on damage against the other guy, one of your followers? Do you want to spend both of them?
I was actually going to have the rest. I was going to roll an extra depletion to say like I just shot up into the ceiling.
Oh yeah,
afterwards.
well I'm happy to have you take another depletion for it. Essentially, just
Yeah.
as like you held the trigger down a lot more than you needed to.
And it just kind of got away from me.
Yeah, got away from you. So you
Yeah.
can spend that other one for an extra depletion, and then I'll use that 5 and 1 against the dude. So you basically graze him. You spray it forward, and kind of gets away from you, and you hear the guy kind of like duck and says, "Go, come, man!" As it like sprays back him, and he looks down, and you've gone through quite a bit of skin at the moment.
Every
with it.
time I use one of these things. Should I roll 2 depletion dice?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one depletion dice explode?
Depletion explodes.
Okay, so that's 1
6,
exploding. 9.
So that's not past your capacity of 15.
All right.
So as you kind of spray the MP5 up and you hold the trigger down and it kind of gets away from you a little bit, you watch as one of your followers who is also down on the ground kind of like covers in a fetal position. Oh God, man! As you kind of like spray it against some of the stone wall, and it sprays apart, it kind of lands on him a little bit, and he's kind of showered in particles of stone and dust. So now you've got your
not our finest hour.
You've got one of your followers who's going to try to go after the guy who just stabbed his friend. He's going to get 1 degree of success, and he'll roll his damage. Oh, okay. So he basically takes his simple baton. He's got like a police club. He takes a simple baton and tries to bring it down upon the other dude, and he just lifts his shield up and just kind of bangs it off the side of it. He kind of like swipes it away, barely doing hardly anything to him. Jenny.
Okay, so I got an exploding dice and 2 degrees of success. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Thank
roll
God,
that
Jenny.
other one.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So that's a 5. So 15 damage total.
Which one were you wanting to fire at?
Yeah, I'm gonna take out the baseball bat guy
Who's running straight towards you?
straight towards me.
You said you got 15 total?
15 total.
You just lay waste to him.
Yeah.
He basically is running towards you in a suicidal scream as he knows he's just going to close the distance and praying that you miss. But instead, this is yours 30-06, right?
Yeah.
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 So you basically just put pow, and it like echoes inside of this closed off room as all of you kind of feel it in your ears a little bit as the pressure kind of like presses into your skulls. But you watch as it just cleanly just goes in and out, and a spray of blood just in the back of him. He is almost knocked back from the force as he just and then drops straight to the ground. All right. Intent.
I want to go after the guy with the shield.
Okay. So shield, Wraith.
How many more guys are we fighting in general?
There's 3 in here, and there's 3 more coming in at the moment.
Okay. I guess I'm pulling out my sword and just
All right.
going to start going to whoever's closest,
All right.
whoever looks like is most threatening to us.
There's only one guy near me.
Yeah, the other ones are spilling in at the moment.
So one of his hands is holding a shield, and the other one has it literally into somebody's gut. So both his hands are taken.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull my hat. I'm sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull the hatchet. I'm gonna swing at his ankle.
Okay, done.
Done.
All right.
This is melee attack blunt.
Yep.
4.
Or slashing. actually.
Slashing.
Yeah.
Okay, it is slashing.
This is a hatchet.
Well, I have 2 sides to the hatchet. I'm gonna use the
blunt end?
The blunt end because I have higher.
And bludgeoning's fine.
Cool.
Yeah. You're basically turning it around
Yeah.
so you can get a
I have
hammer
both.
strike
I have
out
a
of
hammer
it.
strike. Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dual wield. So, okay.
So Jenny, you're shooting your 30-06 into the guy with the shield.
Yes.
Kent's also going to hammer strike him as much as he can, the guy with the shield.
Knee, ankle area.
Also shield guy, or the people, or are you going to countercharge the 2 raiders that are coming in?
I'm countercharging the 2 raiders.
All right, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Then 1 speed dice for you, since you're so masterful with your master sword. So.
I mean, can I try to hit them both? Can I add an extra attack for?
Yeah.
For it was another difficulty.
You'll take a difficulty.
The Baraka
on both
slash.
rolls. So, all right, let's roll speed. All right, speed. Wraith.
My speed is 4.
4. Kent, what do you have?
4 for speed.
4 for speed. Oh, okay, so you're at the same time. And Jenny, what's your speed?
25.
25. That actually means that you don't go this round.
Cool, because I mean, I failed miserably.
Okay, so you're actually going to go not this round, but next round. You have to size this thing up after taking a shot straight through the dude. Wraith, as you countercharge, as you pull your sword, what does this look like, this countercharge?
There are 2 guys coming in at me.
Yeah.
They've just burst through the door and they're like rabid dogs, so they're
Yeah.
just chasing straight at me. And I pull my sword out from it's slung across my back in the scabbard, and then I go real low, and then I just try to whip out like a
Long slice.
scythe, basically, to try to just slash across both of them in one blow.
All right.
A huge wide arc.
So you kind of are keeping low, and you're doing this countercharge, running straight into them. And as you are running towards them, you see that the 2 guys in the back who are there, they kind of are like looking up, and they're looking up straight at you, and they're seeing this dude with a sword and a machete like going right after him. And the 2 that were charging in the front, like they start to skitter, like they start to stop. They're not moving forward anymore. As they kind of see you, they're like stepping back on their heels, and 2 of them just take off behind as these other 2 kind of take up a defensive position right before you take your slash at them. So what's your damage?
The first hit was 1 degree of success. The damage for it, which would be 2, is 1 exploded, so that's 11 points
11
of damage.
points
Yeah, 'cause
of
I
damage.
have a 2 over here.
Oh, okay, so cool. And then
So
you've got a
11 on
degree.
the first guy.
And then do you want to spend any degrees of success to add extra damage?
That one I'm good on. So then for the second
So
one.
11 on the first one. Yep.
Oh man, excellent. 5 degrees of success
Okay.
on the second hit. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3 of those successes for extra damage.
Okay.
On the second guy I hit.
So let's roll the dude that you hit first with the 11 and spend 2 extra damage dice on that.
Okay.
So you've got your 6.
So it's 14,
Okay. Well, 14 plus 11 is
25.
5. All right. Now let's roll how much you're going to roll against the other one.
Which is a total of 4, right? The 2 base plus the other 2. Okay.
And your third one was so that you can pick a different target.
Okay. So that is 9, 12, 16 points of damage on the second guy.
Please narrate how you eviscerate both of these guys in
Okay.
a single swipe.
So yeah, I mean, it's one movement. I crouch low, the sword comes out of the scabbard, I sweep it at about knee height.
Yeah.
And I just slice through them like they're wheat.
Their knees just buckle as like they just collapse down onto the ground with blood splurting out from their legs.
Okay.
Wasn't even a debilitating kill, you just wanted to maim them?
I mean, they're both dead at this point, right?
Yeah, but they're dead because they're bleeding out from their knees, yes. But you're going to hear the wailing and the screams in the meantime, yes. So it's not a clean death.
Let it be an example to the others.
Now we'll go do your action, because Jenny has, or Kent's got his action, yes. So.
I had 3 degrees of failure.
Okay.
But
But you have your base damage at least.
I do. I wanted to spend 2 confidence points to get rid of some of those.
Okay,
if
absolutely.
possible. Okay.
Burn it through so you only have 1 to deal with.
1 to deal with. So
Which also means, yeah, actually, it's fair. Mm-hmm.
Can I still get the damage even through?
Oh yeah.
Fail? Okay.
Oh
cool.
yeah. You can still get the damage.
I'm sitting on my ass, and I'm gonna kind of pull out my hatchet, and I'm gonna hit him right in the knee.
Yeah.
And he's gonna but then instinctively he's just gonna kind of just bat me right in the face with the shield.
With his
you
shield.
know what I'm saying? So
Right. So what that'll basically do is just give me an extra damage dice to resolve against you when he does his attack.
okay.
So
and I had 5 hits of damage on my damage.
great. Okay. So shieldy guy.
That's not nothing.
No. So it's
Yeah,
something.
That's there. Let's see what his. I didn't actually roll his speed yet. Let me roll his speed. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Oh boy.
That's his speed. He's going really late. So, but he's still gonna go before Jenny does. So, sorry, Jenny.
Lucky but slow.
Lucky and
Lucky
slow.
but slow.
He's gonna basically take his. Well, he's gonna roll his attack.
That was not a good face.
Yeah. Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Oh no. Shit. Oh no.
Well, here we are. Base damage. You got the code on though, right? As far as bludgeoning goes?
Yes.
Theoretically, because it's the bludgeoning, we can discount 1. And I can use 4 for that, so I'll spend 4 to basically get those 4 damage dice. I think that last one is just going to be to pull his rebar out from the loyalist who's next to them.
Still inserted in him.
Still inserted. So he'll yank that out, and then he's going to hit you with his reinforced trash can. So... $12.
Kent just lost all of his bottom teeth.
All right. Okay. So as he basically lifts this thing up and you try to hammer strike him onto the middle of this, you watch as he just kind of takes his reinforced trash can, solid lid with sheet metal onto it, and he just wham, right onto the bottom part of your jaw.
Oh.
And you can feel as like all of the pain just starts racking through your jaw at the moment, as you can feel your bottom jaw just like press into your skull.
It feels like I'm chewing a mouthful of marbles. I'm just kind of, and just the teeth are gonna kind of fall out.
And blood just starts dripping down the side of the front of your face. So, all right,
Buddy.
top round.
I'll be fine.
We're gonna have to scavenge you some
I'll be
dentures.
fine. And we got a retainer.
Okay, so we're back at the top of the round, and you should probably know where you're laying at with risk at the moment. So,
Oh, yeah. That's not great.
Not great.
so intent.
I'm gonna try and shoot that guy who just knocked out Kent's bottom teeth.
Oh, Jenny, you actually get to go this round. That's right, because and you still get to use your dice results as well too. But that is essentially you've got your laid over from the last time.
Oh,
so,
wait. So I don't get to roll again? I just...
No.
Damn it!
No, you just get to use the results of.
I don't remember what I rolled for my damage or the difficulty, but I do know that I had 1 degree of failure.
1 degree of failure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then re-roll your damage dice just to have it.
Okay.
You know, since you don't remember what it is,
Okay.
and then you can resolve your degree of failure
Counts as
this
5 because it
round.
exploded.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna wait to roll it again, but cool. Okay.
Okay.
What other enemies are left right now?
So you disabled 2 of them. There are 2 that are theoretically still coming through the door that isn't counting Shieldy Guy. They saw you cleave them, and basically they were already off-put by there anyway, but they have decided that this is not their fight after seeing 2 of these guys, and they are booking it out of here. So you can see them turning down the steps. Yeah.
So I basically want to run up towards them, and if I get to Shield Guy, and she still hasn't shot him at that point, then I'm gonna go for him.
All right.
But if not, I'm gonna close the doors.
But your intent is to go after him and just take him down, so to speak.
Yeah.
We can use degrees of success to change out the door if it
Okay.
comes down to that situation.
If he no longer needs
always
killing.
always go with
Which
the
you won't, because you're
primary
going to shoot him, right? You're
Yes.
going to shoot
Yeah,
him.
no, I'm gonna shoot him.
All right.
Yeah,
I
and
believe
she's
in
at the
you.
top of the round for this, since she had to waste everything to not go at all last round. So
just my normal dice pool
just
for
your
attacking,
normal dice
right?
pool for attacking.
Okay.
And yes,
I'm going to grab my mouth and realize that I have 3 or 4 less teeth than I did before, and feel the kind of rough razor edge of gum and just a sliver of bone on the bottom of a couple of them, and say, hey, she got a little something, you know, and I'm just gonna scramble away and try, as Wraith's coming forward, I'm gonna be kind of like crawling past him.
okay.
So I do want to spend one of my competency. Wow.
Or survival.
I want to spend one of my points to get rid of that, and then I would like to spend. Can I get another damage dice?
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
So you can roll. You have your one with that one.
Yeah, and when this was exploding. Oh, and another exploding. 17, and then this other dice. 18, 19, 20, 21.
Explain to me his grisly demise.
At this point, I'm just so frustrated that I think he's like a goner. So I let out this scream, and I just fire. Like,
You watch as it enters in through his side, as it punctures both of his lungs, and it just exits out, and you hear this loud "ka-pow" as it makes a small crater on the side wall, as it just basically hits against the stone
Crawling
of the government
past
building.
him too, I get a big of blood right in my face.
It just kind of like,
Perfect.
and it starts falling down his mouth as well too, as his lungs kind of fill up with blood, and he's just as he kind of like pushes out the last little bit of air in his lungs as he just collapses over to the side and falls dead to the ground.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood.
I step over his body while giving the thumbs up back there and close the doors and
Slam.
rebar them.
Okay. The aftermath of this is pretty grisly. You know, it's now about midday. You've managed to thwart whatever this midday insurrection was. Unfortunately, you've lost a follower. But some of the other men who are your friends are basically looking around, and they're looking at that gun, and especially the guy who was on the other side of the door that got pushed out of the way. Wow, that thing's a beast. Where'd you get that?
friend.
Some friend.
Yeah.
Are they dead too?
No.
Yeah.
Here, man. He will kind of help you lift you up a little bit, and goes, "Okay, let's get you upstairs." All right. They kind of carry you off to go do a little bit of triage on what they can do. So,
Are there any other followers around still, like living ones?
living ones?
Yeah.
The ones that you shot dead. By the way, for the record, these ones that are inside of here, they do not seem to have any kind of Kamon symbols
Okay.
or anything inside of them. They look like they were just opportunists, potentially, who met the butt end of a 30-06.
What I mean is like our volunteers. Like
Your volunteers, yeah.
There are a few of them?
There's a few. Basically, too little, too late, guys. You watch as the few people who are sitting on the balconies coming down are
Yeah.
now like busting in through the doors and now kind of slowly, coming down the steps as they tink down and goes, "Oh God!" And you see as one woman goes, "Oh my."
You need to grab any heavy furniture you can find and bring it down. We need to pile it up in front of these doors.
We're gonna barricade the government building?
Yes.
All right. They're all people who were previously slaves. So there's any kind of connection they may have with this government building fell when they saw the blood that's now just caking the walls of the building as they just lean stuff up against it. You see as one man goes, "Hey, Sam, by the way, the two that I guess you guys scared off, they started heading straight to Summerfield. Should we try to go get them?"
If you think you can get to them without putting yourself at too much risk.
"Oh man, I'm not going out there. No way, dude. No way I'm stepping out of this building. I'll go back up to the top and do what I can, but I mean, you two pretty much have the only guns in this whole building at the moment."
And if those two get back, they'll know that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, I'll keep an eye out. Good job, by the way.
If you can find a way to pursue them and stop them. I'm not giving you an order.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
You know, I spent my whole life in this place just getting by, just working, tending the fields, helping out the apprentices when they need. But now that I'm in here and I'm seeing what you guys are trying to do, fuck yeah, man. I'm gonna hunt those assholes down. And you watch as he kind of like takes one of the discarded simple weapons as he puts it onto his side, as he kind of walks out on his own and goes, I got this. And he just takes off into a run, chasing after the guys as hard as he possibly can as they go down the city blocks. So, yeah, that was the one for me. So, in fact, even better, I'll give you some bonus survival points for that, which, if you want, we can turn that into gear for you guys now, or you can just bank it for later.
I think we probably do need gear now.
Yeah.
Medical gear.
We need medical gear, and if we need to try to get more weapons,
we need weapons.
to arm some more of the people that are here.
Okay.
Explosives.
So as he's starting to go out the door and he's about to take off, he turns around and goes, oh, hey, by the way, forgot to mention, as I was going upstairs and checking out for the lookout, I noticed that there's a room that's right next to where the government office is. It was locked. And, you know, as they say, any locked door, it's got to have something good behind it. And you watch as he just takes off down the road. And he's referring to like essentially one of the staterooms that's in the government building that's next to where, you know, Kamon's main office is. So.
All right. So I guess let's check on Kent. Let's get Kent to where he needs to be.
Yeah, Kent, it's going to take some time to patch you up.
Getting upstairs, I look in the mirror and I see it looks maybe a lot worse than it is. I'm only missing 2 or 3 teeth, and there's a lot more blood than damage. My jaw is very sore, my gums are cut open, and I have a mouthful of blood, and it's still coming out.
Yeah.
And I have a kind of a very jack-o'-lantern grin.
Yeah.
But I'm alive.
And it hurts.
And it hurts like hell.
It hurts so bad, like you're talking like 3 root canals all at the same time.
And I go up and I'm looking at it, and I go to pull a cigarette out, and I go to light it, and a little woman just slaps it out of my hand.
No, it's me. It's me who
you.
slaps it out of your hand.
Ray slaps it out of my hand.
I grab it and I go, those things will kill you.
Yeah, so will they. So.
Do you want to treat it yourself, or do you want to wait for someone?
I'm going to treat it myself because I have a high first aid. I'm going to try and just...
I'll help you here. Here's a bucket. First spit.
First spit, and I'm going to try and spit in there. And
All right, well then now you can roll for your own self-treatment. You're basically going to sit down, pull your kit open, and start pulling out the remnants of your medical gear, which is probably some bleached out rags.
Pretty
as
much.
well as...
I'm just helping him like extra hands. But
Right.
And I see that they've got this. I'm gonna go find that locked door
Okay.
and try and open it.
So you go over there, and the locked door is locked.
Cool. I've got a kit, and I would like to open it.
You want to lockpick it?
Yeah, I'd like to lockpick it.
Holy crap, let's do this. And Kent, feel free to roll your first aid check once you've done all your math and figured out where you are. That's right, roll it up. First aid. What are we looking at?
I have 3 degree. Actually, I rolled a 26, and my first aid is 62. I have a 26, giving me 3 degrees of success with my first aid at 62.
Great, so 3 degrees of success. So small condolences, you managed to patch up a little bit of the superficial damage. For that last degree of success,
people were so inspired by your bravery that now they have more morale, or the news of your legend is spreading?
high morale in the face of danger. No one loses any morale. In fact, if anything, you guys have definitely raised the morale of the troop by pushing away those insurgents. So, yeah. I don't think I have anything better, unless you've got something.
I like that.
Yep.
I gained respect in the eyes. He's a tough son of a bitch, they said. He's a tough guy. Toothless.
Toothless,
tough.
but respect. Yeah. You talk about scars now.
Yeah.
So we can actually even maybe use that to manage your pain a little bit, because you can.
Can't mend broken souls or broken teeth.
Yeah. For everything else, there's morphine.
Yeah, right?
Oh, you wish there was
I know.
morphine. Jenny.
Cool. Okay, 5. So that's 4 degrees of success.
Oh, okay. So this takes no time. I was expecting this to take a very long time. No, it takes no time at all. It's been a long time since you've done this, but it happens so naturally. Either that or this lock is just terrible. You're going through it and you're picking it through, and it the tumblers just tip without a problem, and you turn the door open as you stumble upon Kaymon's personal supply inventory. Yeah. As you go in there, it's dark, roomless stateroom. It was once a bedroom that was probably kept to, bring in state officials or diplomats or things like that. But it's just been converted into a storage locker of a whole bunch of different stuff. And as you kind of bring in a light source and to look around inside of it, you see that you're in a bedroom that maybe was once used for diplomatic purposes. There's even the old bed frame is still there, even though the mattress had been pulled off, and now there's supply boxes laid out. And you see kind of Kaymon's personal storage. It has a lot of things inside of it. Mostly all of the supplies that Kaymon would want to have in access in case things were needed. So we're talking like old barrels of wine, dried food stores, essentially luxury goods. You do see a small armory that essentially has a few weapons inside of it.
Cool.
You do see a different version of Kaymon's like armory, like his arms, so like his different suits, you could say. It's all cured leather with buckles and pieces. And then you can also see that there's lots of very, very intricate, simple weapons that seem to be ritualistic in nature. And you also see a stone slab that has dried bloodstains onto it.
Son of a bitch.
I wonder how those got there.
Yeah.
You can see a couple of small metal buckets are laid off to the side. Oh, and this is also probably important. 12 5-gallon jugs of water, like stacked vertical on each other in quite a display. You haven't seen plastic water jugs in years. In fact, seeing it stacked like that, it gives you old memories of like the old water shipment services when they would come and deliver water jugs to people's stores. And he literally has them on racks. You've never seen so much bottled water in your life.
12 of them.
12.
Nice.
I'm gonna walk down and kind of like lean in the doorway, holding my teeth, looking at the stuff in there too. See anything good in there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I come along as well. And when I see Kaymon's like armor stuff, I kind of go over and look at it, and I immediately start unbuckling parts of it and comparing it to bits of my own. I want to try to upgrade
Oh, it's better.
my armor.
Oh, it's so much better. You look at it, it's cured bison hide. Like it is fresh leather. A lot of the stuff that you've had is pretty worn and old, and it's been rugged down over the years. This is starchy and really crisp.
Yeah. I'm actually not going to replace all of my armor with, I want to kind of do it piecemeal. I'm very specific about how I fight, and I want to keep some of the parts of my own armor just because of I like a balance of flexibility and speed. I mean, I'm specifically looking to add bits to my armor that'll help protect like my neck, like a gorget.
So we'll do it this way. Any kind of damage on durability that would have been from your armor from taking damage previously has now been completely refreshed because you've been able to supplement it with new stuff.
And it look real cool.
And it's aesthetically a little bit of an upgrade as well.
Yeah.
I'm looking for explosives and weapons.
All right, let me check to see if there's anything like that in there. So, as you're digging around a little bit, you can kind of see as some of your other followers are now starting to get curious too, and they're peeking their heads in as they kind of come into the stateroom as you guys are kind of riling through the space a little bit.
I grab the dried fruit.
Yeah.
And I approach them and I say, take this and pass it out among the group.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I want them to go, but I want to give them something as well.
Give them a jug of water.
Kaymon's been holding on to this stuff?
Should we though?
Oh my God, look at all the water. That's like, oh geez, that's like 12 jugs worth. And you watch as, I've never seen that many in my life. Not even the Heisenberg. Well, maybe in Heisenberg. But you kind of see as she's looking to it, and you give them stacks of the grain food. It's like, and they go, okay, well, we can distribute this amongst all of us. Per your request, Kent, you do see that the storeroom is filled. You find one crate It's a small crate about this big. You open it up and you see a couple of long PVC pipes that seem to be
Syntax.
hot onto them. And you've seen they've been like they look like some kind of glue has basically bound them shut,
Homemade pipe bombs.
as they have a small fuse, and it's just one right there.
Wow.
It's got like a hand printed onto it with like slashes. That's the symbol that you've seen occasionally graffitied around parts of Osage. That's just like the hand of Kamon, you know. And the armory that you have in there is essentially, if you are interested, there is a couple of shotguns that are available that have slug rounds attached to them.
Do you want to take another one of those shotguns?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
absolutely need a shotgun.
Because you guys probably have better long.
I have
I do.
hatchet to my name.
The amazing rolls I made are what was made available to you, but you're gonna have to spend survival points, and a shotgun's gonna cost you all like 5
Okay.
for the gun, and then I'll roll for how much ammo you get for every 3 you spend. So,
Do we have to pay for that PVC pipe
oh,
bomb?
the pipe bomb's a gift from me to you.
Thank you so much.
Is there a card
You're-
for that
you're
or
lovely.
no?
I'll make a card.
So thoughtful.
Are you taking it?
I am
Yeah.
taking it.
All right.
Okay,
Are you
so-
taking the crate or
I'm
just
taking the crate.
Yeah.
Keeping it in the crate.
keeping it in the crate?
All right. So when Kent finds this pipe bomb thing,
Yes.
I sort of stop him and I look at him and Jenny, and I'm like, everybody seems to be looking to these Heisenbergs, the ones who control the water. I'm thinking maybe if we were able to get some leverage over the Heisenbergs, like saying, hey, join us, we'll put you in power with these conditions. Go against us, and we destroy what little hold you do have on the water. I mean, we've destroyed one dam before.
Yeah.
It would not be an empty threat.
Do you think we could talk to them about blocking water to Summerfield?
Yes.
Okay. This is something I'm interested in.
Well, let's do it.
I don't trust walking on the streets. If we go there, I think we should take the tunnels like we figured out, right up to the bluffs.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
But the infected have been known, and the Chinook, whatever you want to call them, they're down there.
I mean, maybe we should leave,
A weapon with Paulo?
yeah, like a firearm with Paolo.
I'll leave a shotgun.
You have to pay for another one if you want another one.
Let's
Yeah.
buy what we can.
2 shotguns, please.
Thank you.
Yes, you'll find a shotgun, sir.
Cool, and we'll give that
Straight out
to...
of Kamon's armory.
Kamon's Armory, only the finest products in here in
Currently
West Osage.
stolen, taken, beaten, who knows? But it's good weaponry. So you're gonna have 2 of the 12 gauge with at least the rounds that are inside of it.
And I say to Paulo quietly, make sure this place holds until we get back.
You know, it'll be difficult. I've only 4 or 5 men, and all of Osage could be coming, or all of Summerfield. Whatever you're going to do, make it quick, because should Scalar and his centurions come, then we will be overrun.